There is one stock that is about to skyrocket in the next few days. The company is LAES. That's the ticker. The name is SEALSQ. They are a quantum cryptography company, quantum security. If you saw the move on the quantum tickers, Rigetti, RGTI, IONQ, QBTS, QuantumScape, in September, those were crazy 100% plus moves in under a month. LAES could make a similar move. It hasn't gone up quite like those have yet. Maybe it's because it's a quantum security rather than a strictly quantum company. This is not financial advice, but I think this is the next speculation name that could make the end of this speculation run after we've gone on an absolute bull of a market since April, and September was crazy as part of that. LAES could be, not calling a top, but this blow-off move that hasn't happened yet. Let's jump into a little look at the chart and why I think this company's stock price is going to go up.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
So this is SEALSQ. It's British Virgin Islands is their incorporation, but they're in the same category. They're over $1 billion market cap, and they have hundreds of millions of cash. They're in the same category as IONQ, which has raised $1 billion through JP Morgan. So this is, and then Morgan Stanley as the investment bank for this $300 million. And you have to ask yourself, you know what? They're a $20 billion company with multiple billions in the bank that's going to last them years. I mean, this is what, 15 years or something crazy? So if that's the case, is it that crazy that they're going on runs like this? Maybe it's not that crazy. It's not all about revenue, earnings, and sales. You can see these moves are not based off of earnings candles. RGTI, another one with the 100% plus move. I mean, this is almost 300%. It's absolutely bonkers. So there's one company, LAES, that sure, it had a move. It went from 2 to 6. It's 100%, but it's a smaller stock. It's setting up another flag here. And, like it or not, quantum is the hot sector this year. It certainly was the hot sector at the end of last year as well. You can see what this company can do. This is completely unprecedented late December move in SEALSQ. Why, right? No one really can say that it's because of what quantum's going to do, because even Jensen, the founder and CEO of NVIDIA, says, as of his most recent global technology conference, quantum is mumbo jumbo, right? So despite that, these companies are still super valuable. Who knows what post-quantum cryptography is going to ultimately end up doing, but this is almost like a Manhattan Project type of investment. And maybe it's just going to be for, smart home, like your Nest Ring camera, or, your Wi-Fi router, or some type of warehouse automation thing that Amazon ends up, giving them a bunch of money to develop. It's hard to say, but it's also clear that there's a euphoric interest in these companies. So they're raising a ton of money. They are partnering with real companies that help them build out their technologies. And I don't know how real it is, but you have to just accept reality, which is silly to say. And reality is that the market loves quantum companies right now. So sure, they're early deals. There's not a lot of dollar value terms, but these are serious partnerships. This isn't the U.S. government, that would be great. Seoul, Korea is you know, there's still crazy innovation happening overseas. Of course, China is arguably ahead of us in some aspects of AI, you could say, because they have so much more power capacity. And that could extend to quantum too. Quantum might require huge amounts of power as well. So, as far as contracts or deals for LAES, um, it's hard to really quantify like 30 million digital certificates. Is that a lot? Is that easy to provide? Is that not a lot? These sort of like security deals, it's kind of like a software as a service model where maybe this is, the next big thing. And uh, maybe $100+ million for R&D is totally going to pay off. But I don't know who's paying for it yet. Um, Even Facebook, right? The big story with Facebook was that they're an example of a company that can just grow like a weed and they don't need to make money because they'll eventually make money. That's the lore anyway. And the reality was they were actually making money very soon. They were selling ad space very quickly and they just needed money for servers, right? That's the um, sort of, you know, emblematic story of a Silicon Valley startup. And this is a hardware startup. This isn't a software startup. So I don't think they're going to get that same leeway. But these are kind of all the angles you have to come at this with, because regardless of these massive numbers, future revenue opportunities, $100 million revenue opportunities, um, they still need to actually book some revenue. Pipeline is a very distrusting, flexible word. And this is how much money they're actually making: 5 million a quarter. 5 million a quarter for a $1 billion market cap company. And they're one of like the smaller market cap quantum companies. So they do have a massive loss, 20 million. It's only massive as compared to their revenue, which is about half of that as of last year. And so now you just have to say, is there any risk reward in this quantum name versus the other ones? And you could say, well, do you want to invest in the hardware? Do you want to say security is a bigger growing field? I mean, there are companies like CrowdStrike and Zscaler that are doing awesome. I mean, these are big moves. CrowdStrike just broke out over this 500 and change level. And maybe you have to start. I mean, there are other peer Bloomberg isn't doing so hot, but maybe you have to see SEALSQ, LAS is sort of in that bucket as opposed to in the quantum bucket. It's hard to say exactly how to value a company that has 5 million of revenue and also trades $500 million a day, except to just say it's a speculation name, it's a trading vehicle. $500 million a day, though, means you can put 5 million in with a click of a button. And so that's probably not a great idea, but it is important to get a sense of how real this company is. And so in terms of realness, are they sort of connected to NVIDIA? Not really. They're trying to connect themselves to NVIDIA, mentioning NVIDIA's GPUs to say that their strategy is going to basically be interoperable or useful with them. So we'll see what actually happens. But post-quantum technology is kind of mental, considering that quantum itself has not even been implemented outside of labs. And I don't even know how labs are using it outside of, what do people say? It's used for Bitcoin security, and that's the use case. So we'll see. There's not a lot of fundamentals to look at here because there's basically no connection to the government and no connection to major companies and no revenue numbers. But they're definitely the head. I mean, there is real research that goes on in these labs, and if it's going to happen, it's going to be this company. So there's pretty much no other fundamentals to look at. All you can really say is, what's the dilution risk? Is this revenue going to go up? Is this net loss going to disappear? And is some crazy acquisition possibly going to happen? And, this is the dilution risk, right? There's a high risk, meaning they're going to need to raise more money because they have 400 million and their arguably father company has 3 billion. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if these warrants get exercised, and that has a dampening effect on the share price. That's something you have to be aware of. But it doesn't seem like it's having a real problem. They exercised $4 warrants for 70 million in October of this year. So you can see where that price is. That's down here, and it's holding up. So there's enough buying to overpower the dilution. So that's kind of the story with these penny stocks. That's where they get super interesting, like back here. And so if you can hold this for a few weeks, get a big 20% move up, that's kind of the name of the game and why this is a speculation name of interest. If you like these ideas, hit that like button. Sometimes speculation is where the best opportunity is for maybe 5% of your portfolio. Notice I'm not talking about biotechs, but I'm also not talking about, gambling on options before Amazon earnings. We'll see how that Amazon closes out tomorrow, which is reported today, and it looks good so far. But this is, ideas of stocks that are going to go up after, not that just went up, on earnings, and then I'm talking about them. So I think LAES could go up after I put out this video, and hopefully before you see it. If you want to see these videos before they come out, hit that join button. See if that helps you out. This is not financial advice, but hope it helps you. And good luck.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.